I think it's time to get into our top stories of the day. Boom, 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 boom. Top stories. Top stories. These are the top stories of the day. As far as the team here at Freak Out in the Mornings is concerned, this is what I think the top stories of the day are. Okay, you could disagree with me. It's Saturday. It's not really a news day. All right, so you're getting what you're getting. All right, top stories of the day, and I'm just gonna go right into it. These stories are not necessarily, great things that happen to people, but it's important to be distracted from the chaos and the disappointment of your own life by witnessing even more chaotic levels of disappointment in other people's lives. Our first story of the day is from CT Insider. For those of you who don't know, CT is short for Connecticut in this particular example. And the story is Waterbury man held captive in home for decades is shocking and can't happen again, Connecticut leaders say. Well, duh. Anyone held captive in their own home or somebody else's home for decades, plural, that means more than two. More than two. Of course, that's shocking. And why would leaders of the state of Connecticut ever want that to happen again? This is sending the wrong message already. This is the house. It's a house on Blake Street, right? Look at it. It looks horrifying. It looks depressing. It looks terrible. This looks like the exact house. I mean, there's boarded up windows on the upstairs second floor. Like, this looks like the exact house that they're... Honestly, if you're walking down the street and you see a house like that, just call it in. Just call it in. Call it in. Whatever local authority you're comfortable with reaching out to, just call it in and be like, hey, listen, I might have heard a noise. I don't know. It's just giving me the kidnapped, tortured souls in the basement vibe. Can we do like a community health check on all houses that look like this? I mean, and this is the guy in the details. All right. Well, okay. Let's get into this case. All right. Governor Ned Lamont and several GOP senators said Friday questions need to be answered to ensure no other child suffers the neglect and cruelty that police say they encountered in a local home. All right, so this guy's writing style is already frustrating to me. No offense. It's just we want the details. We want the action. I'm not trying to get like 5 paragraphs in before I find out like what the hell is going on. So I'm skipping this whole next. I mean, it's shocking. Lamont said of police reports that a man was held in isolation and severely neglected for more than 20 years. I told you. Once you say decades, it's over 20. And what should we be doing to make sure this is less likely to ever happen again? I don't think that you'll ever be able to litigate wickedness out of the human gene pool. There is a spiritual flaw in mankind where at different points in people's lives, they're just going to be attracted to evil, okay? You're not going to be able to come up with like a law or a government program that's going to stop insane people from kidnapping people. You just need to come up with a plan, right, for like how to punish them so severely that the insane people who think about kidnapping people think twice. I mean, that's literally the best we can do. We've been at this whole human civilization thing for like thousands of years. All right, we don't have to go Anunnaki. We don't have to get into conspiracy theory. All right, but at least 10,000 years of this, and there's no one's ever solved it. All right, all we can do is just cause severe harm to the perpetrators when we find them, but you're not going to solve it. A 32-year-old man whose whole world was a locked room in a Blake Street house set a fire in his room on February 17th in an effort to escape, police said this week. Firefighters discovered the man 5 feet tall, 9 inches tall, weighing 68 pounds. I was wondering why they were telling me his weight. That is insane. He's 5'9", 68 pounds. Police later arrested his stepmother. Of course, it's the evil stepmother. It's always the evil stepmother. If anyone in your life has a stepmother, just check on them. Check on them. Just make sure they're okay. Because I guarantee you, there's a high likelihood that that stepmother is torturing them right now as we speak. And are you going to sit here and let your friend or your coworker just continue to be tortured by their stepmother relentlessly because you know the signs and didn't do anything about it? You know the signs. You know the signs. Do something. 5'9", 68 pounds. It's despicable. All right, Kimberly Sullivan, shame on you. All right, 56 years old, which means that she started this in her mid-30s. I'm telling you right now. Right now. Stepmothers over the age of 35, they're the ones that can do the most harm. They're definitely the ones. I mean, I'm seeing this right now, and I'm telling you, she was at least 35 years old. Might have been even 34, 32. They said more than 20. I don't know what that means. If it was 20 years exactly, when he was 12 years old, he got locked into a room by a 36-year-old woman and literally set his room on fire. I don't know if it was necessarily to escape the room. It could have been to escape this existence. This is deep. This is actually a much deeper story than I thought. Waterbury police and the State Department of Children and Families had interactions with the victims' families, but neither agency pursued the boy's well-being after he was pulled out of school by his parents after several contacts with DCF when he was 11 or 12 years old, according to officials in the arrest warrant. Going to school is an early warning system about what's happening, how a kid is doing, and perhaps any other issues that might be happening back home, the governor said. That is a good point. That is a good point. Like, I was never a fan of school, but I do understand the social implications of, like, if a child is suddenly incapable of going to school, maybe there's a problem. Maybe something's wrong. This case, the kid was in Waterbury Public Schools. They worried. They contacted DCF maybe once or twice. DCF did a check. They contacted Waterbury police, and I guess they didn't find anything. All right. Okay, so let's just skip ahead a little bit to, I guess, why the Connecticut officials are making such a big deal out of, like, well, we can't let this happen again. So apparently, right here, according to this paragraph, there is no framework in Connecticut for following up on children who are permanently removed from school, said Sarah Egan, executive director for the Center for Children's Advocacy and the former state child advocate. While the state requires compulsory school attendance or an equivalent education, such as homeschooling, the reality is no one does anything to confirm a child is being properly educated after they are removed from the school. Whatever the procedure it is clearly not enough. There are other people in this household. There were neighbors. It's incredible how this could go on for so long without more of an early warning system. Good point. Good point. I mean, great point. You got neighbors. You got other people who live in the home, apparently. And you're telling me, amongst all these different people, not a single person noticed. What's his name? They won't even say his name. That's crazy. They can't even say his name because technically he's still a boy. He might be 32 years old, but he's frozen in time. He's 68 pounds. This woman is a monster. Okay, you cannot keep humans as pets, especially if you're not going to take care of your responsibilities. It's important. All right, you got to feed them, you got to clothe them. They need outdoor activities, they need socialization, they need all the stuff. All right. There are people who have pet monkeys who get treated better than this kid got treated. Pet monkeys. All right. French Montana got a capuchin somewhere in an apartment in New York that is being treated infinitely better than this kid was treated for the last 20 years. That is insane. Wow. All right. Well, that's our top story of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I hope you guys understand how important it is to look out. Look out for your friends, your family, your neighbors, the people in your community. If the local 12-year-old kid just goes missing and you just don't see him, but his family is still living at the house and, you know, there's no story of he got moved to a different state or anything like that, step up. Do something about it. You know? We can't rely on Connecticut leaders. No offense to Connecticut leaders. They're going to do their best, right? But their best is nothing compared to a family member, a friend, or a neighbor stepping in and taking that first step. I'll tell you that for sure. Because without that first step, how would the Connecticut leaders even know who's doing what? There's no way to know about most of this stuff. I'm just letting you know. When it comes to these dark type of crimes, there is absolutely no way to know about most of this stuff. It's the type of thing where, like, you just got to deal with it. You know? Unless somebody steps up. Big problem in New York City, by the way. New York City is the too cool for school capital of the world. You will literally be on a train being sexually harassed by an insane individual who is on the verge of threatening violence against you, and the entire train car is just going to pretend like it's not happening. That's a problem. I don't care what anyone says. Born and raised in this city. I love this city. There was a point in time in this city where behavior like that used to get you in trouble. Not with the law, but with the citizens of New York. Behavior like that used to cause somebody to snap. Because there has to be a part of you that says, I'm not willing to witness this. Because once you witness something, it's with you forever. All right? If what they say is true about you die and your life flashes before your eyes, you're going to watch yourself stand in that train car doing nothing while that woman on the verge of tears is trying to figure out where she can run to. It's a crazy world we live in, and I understand people's fear and hesitation, and I'm not saying, you know, go out and be a vigilante and go out and do something stupid, but what I am saying is that if it was more socially acceptable, especially in a city like New York, where we're so, you know, socially inclined, we're all on top of each other, we're all, like, think about it, there's so many people in the subway system, right? And they're not all just like the poor people who can't afford to drive. It's like traffic in New York City is so crazy that the subway is faster for certain commutes than taking an expensive Uber. And why spend $100 on a taxi cab that's going to get you there 15 minutes later than the $3 train? But you do accept the risks that come with the train, right? But, you know, we need to think about that as a people. Like, why is that the case? Why do we have this culture where we're just going to watch the most horrible things happen and do nothing about them? And sometimes it's as simple as somebody standing up and saying, hey, cut that out. And then another person saying, yeah, you better stop. And then another person saying, yeah, get off the train. Because I'm telling you right now, no matter how scary you think this individual is, unless they have a gun and they pointing it directly at people, a train car full of angry American citizens saying, get the hell off this car, we won't tolerate this behavior, is a powerful statement. And it is enough to chase any of these fools out. They're not going to fight the whole train car. And it's sad because sometimes we'll have a situation where just one person stands up. One person says enough is enough. And then they end up in an altercation. And then we have to litigate whether or not that one individual is justified in confronting this person who was a clear and present danger, a clear and present threat to the lives of the people on that train. It's just an unfortunate scenario, and it comes down to culture. Culture is the most important thing. in any civilization. If you have a toxic culture, you have a toxic civilization. But that doesn't mean that we don't believe in changes.